Ses. attention, please. Says, hi everyone. Can I just get attention, please? Can I just learn the delegates who is from the SPECPOL, UNODC, UNEP, pardon, SPECPOL, UNODC, IAEA, and ILO. Can I just learn the delegates who is in these committees? Only 2? So you have to be in the main building because you're going to have the live thing again because of the overcrowdedness. So please just go back to the main building. You're supposed to be in your committees right now. I'm just saying the committees again. SPECPOL, UNODC, IAEA, and ILO. So please go back to your committees, okay? Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? If any delegates were in the committees that had the live connection in the opening ceremony, they're supposed to go back to their committees. No. If any delegates were in their committees in the opening ceremony with the live connection, then they're supposed to go to their committees. They're not supposed to be here. Otherwise, we're going to be really crowded, and if they had gotten an award, they're not going to be able to get the award. Because the awards from the committees with the live connections are going to be given inside the committees. right? Yeah, that's okay, but we're not supposed to be this full. So please, if you were not here during the opening ceremony, go back to your committee. Right? What is it? What is that? Yes. What's the problem? Okay.
Hey, again, it's me. Can you just go back because, like, it's really crowded here? Can you just go back? You two, go back.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can I have your attention for a minute, please? Delegates, can I have your attention for a minute? The delegates who were supposed to be in online broadcast, can you please move back to your committees? We urgently require you to go back to your committees, please. Thank you. Good afternoon again, delegates, advisors. Now we are proceeding with the closing ceremony, but before that, I'd like to ask you for a favor. This is a kind of EKIN JMUN's tradition that we take a photograph inside our patio right in the main building, but I think we skipped it for some reason. That's really all right, no problem. But could we please ask you, when we are done with the closing ceremony, can you please go back to the main building, right in the middle of the patio, so that we can have a photograph of everybody? Can we do that? Thank you very much for your cooperation.
Good afternoon, distinguished advisors, guests, delegates, honorable EKIN College founders, administration, members of the executive and academic teams, and our dear guest, Troy Wolf, who's flown overseas to share his wisdom and insights with us throughout the conference. So we have come to an end of 3 exhausting, but hopefully that was very productive and a overall very fun learning experience for you all. So before I take up much more of the time and we proceed to committee directors delivering their speeches and giving awards, I would like to thank the members of our team. Miss Secretary General Miss Isabella Yazıcı, Conference Managers Efe Birkan and Karan Keskiner, Director General Aleyna Gürbüz, Miss Dinçer, Mr. Agdam. It was very, very valuable, and it was such a special experience sharing this with you all. So, I now yield the floor to the committee directors of International Labor Organization to deliver their speech and give their awards.
Honorable advisors, Mr. Akdam and Mrs. Dinçer, honorable guest, Mr. Wolf, esteemed Secretary General Isabella Yazıcı, my dearest Deputy Secretary General Azra Kaya, honorable Director General Alara Aykanat, and esteemed participants. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone who made this conference possible. It was an amazing 3-day experience which made me realize how enthusiastic and productive students can be. In the committee, we had amazing debates in moderated and unmoderated caucuses. The delegates wrote 2 amazing resolutions upon the issues of migrant workers and child labor. I'd also like to thank all of my friends who were chairs in this conference for supporting me anytime I needed. So I love you all, guys. I would like to start out by keeping my short speech. I would like to start by the awards. So our first honorable mention award goes to Germany. Our second honorable mention award goes to Delegate of Brazil. And our third honorable mention award goes to Portugal. We have 2 outstanding delegate awards. First one goes to the delegate of Greece. And the second outstanding award goes to the delegate of United States of America. And our last award, the best award, goes to the delegate of United Kingdom. Thank you again, everyone. I yield my floor to Azra Kaya, I guess.
Thank you, Jancat, and excuse my nervousness. I'm just so overwhelmed and full of emotions that this is coming to an end, and I forgot a thank you. So, Alara Aykanat, thank you so much for everything. And now the floor is, and now I yield the floor to the chairs of UNEP to deliver their speeches and present the awards.
Honorable Advisor Mr. Akdam and Mrs. Dinçer, Honorary Guest Mr. Wolf, Highly Esteemed Secretary General Isabella Yazıcı, Highly Esteemed Director General Alara Aykanat, Madam Deputy Secretary General Azra Kaya, dear participants and guests. Firstly, I would like to thank the whole academic and organization team for this wonderful 3 days. It has been an honor to serve as the Committee Director of United Nations Environment Program. And I would like to thank Isabella and Azra for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this amazing conference. Lastly, I would like to thank my amazing co-chair, Simay, for always being there when I felt like drowning of all the work, and always helping me, like running to my help, whether it be because of the study guides or the motions or just the committee in general. Before proceeding with the awards, I would like to sum these 3 days up real quick. Although when we all first arrived to the committee, almost none of our delegates knew what MUN was. Once they got used to it, they were so enthusiastic, and we couldn't keep up with their emotions, honestly. And so let me say sorry to all of my delegates whose motions we could not entertain. Our delegates were so enthusiastic, whether it be about gossip box, honestly, or motions, or so many objections to every single motions, and also so many points of orders caused by technical difficulties. Honestly, for a second, I thought that we weren't going to get the documents that we needed in time. But our delegates surprised us and worked with so much enthusiasm and with so much passion that we all finished our documents with great success. And now, without further ado, we would like to announce the rewards. We will be announcing 1 Best Delegate Award, 3 Outstanding Awards, and 3 Mention Awards. When I announce the mention awards, could you please stand up so we can see all of you? The first mention award goes to Brunei. If you're here, could you stand up so we can see you? Our second mention award goes to Spain. And our third and last mention award goes to Singapore. We also have 3 outstanding awards. Smile, would you like to? Yeah. Okay. Our first outstanding award goes to, by the way, when I call your country's name, please come to the floor so we can deliver your certificates. Our first outstanding award goes to Guatemala. Our second outstanding award goes to Switzerland. And our third and last outstanding award goes to Egypt. Our Best Delegate Award goes to, can I get a drum roll, please? United States of America. And we would like to yield the floor to our Madam Deputy Secretary General Azra Kaya.
Thank you, Ecin Smay. And now I invite the chairs of the SOCOM committee to deliver their speeches and give the awards.
Honorable advisors, Mr. Akdam and Mrs. Dinçer, honorary guest Mr. Wolf, distinguished SG, DSG, and Director General Ala Raykanat. SOCOM Committee has talked about combating the social aftermath of the refugee crisis as a whole, and the committee has specialized on the topics of the refugee camps, children in position at conflict areas, illegal immigration, the discrimination that refugees face, and the psychological effects. we had a great start to our committee. All the delegates were involved in the topic. Delegates have really worked hard on the sessions. They had excellent speeches, and they wanted to solve the problem as a whole. They believe that it is a problem that bothers not only local countries of the region, but it also bothers all countries worldwide. They have worked together in such a harmony that even we were shocked by the delegates' collaboration skills. There were various of different ideas, and they had different approaches to the solutions. Before finishing my speech, I would like to thank to my co-chair, Demir. Your effort was priceless, and I'm sure that you will continue your chairing career with pride, man.
Honorable advisors, Mr. Agdam, Mrs. Dinçer, honorary guest, Mr. Wolf, our Secretary General, Isabella Ecezıcı, Deputy Secretary General, Azra Kaya, Director General, Alar Aykanat, and everyone that made this conference possible. It is my most sincere honor to serve as the co-chair of the Social, Humanitarian, and Cultural Committee. I believe that our committee was really efficient. Everyone really tried hard and did their best. I would like to thank our admins for the amazing efforts, and I don't think we would be able to do it without them. Lastly, I would like to thank my chair, Emir. I don't think I could do it without him. He was there whenever I needed my help. I am sad to say this is going to be his last EKIN. I am mostly honored to serve as his co-chair. Thank you.
So, let's start with our honorable mentions. The first one goes to the delegation of Egypt. Can you please stand up, the delegation of Egypt? Okay, thank you. Second one goes to the delegation of Russian Federation. Third one goes to the delegation of Switzerland. And the last one goes to the delegation of Czech Republic.
Our outstanding award goes to the delegation of Bulgaria. Bulgaria, delegation of Bulgaria, please wait.
And the second outstanding award goes to the delegation of Germany. And our final award, best delegate award, goes to
Could we get a drum roll, please? The
delegation of Gabon. The floor is yielded.
Thank you so much, Demir and Emir. And now I yield the floor to the chairs of UN Women to deliver their speeches and present the awards.
So, can I get the silence, please? Thank you. So, the most honorable advisors, Mr. Agdam and Mrs. Dinçer, honorary guest, Mr. Wolf, the most honorable Secretary General, Isabella Yazıcı, Most Honorable Secretary, Deputy Secretary General Azra Kaya, Most Distinguished Deputy General Alara Aykanat. I'm more than surprised and happy to stand here with two draft resolutions besides all the difficulties that we have experienced during the sessions. There are some people who I have to thank, but firstly, Madam Secretary General Isabella Yazıcı. When I had troubles with the process of the comedy or anything else, she always knew what to do and she was always there when I needed. Secondly, our Madam Deputy Secretary General Azra Kaya. She has even been a mother for my delegates, so I cannot explain how much she helped. And lastly, my lovely Madam Co-Chair Zeynep İlaslan. She was one of the most hardworking board members I have ever participated with. And of course, all the team who made this conference amazing. It's been more than an honor for me to participate in such a conference. Before moving on with the awards, I have to state that as UN Women, we were one of the most crowded committees and we had lots of difficulties, as I said before, but all my delegates were amazing. So as I stated, we were so crowded, so we have 4 mentions, 2 outstanding awards and a best delegate award, of course. So, okay, when I will state when the time comes. So,
first honor mentioned award goes to Liberia. And the second honor mentioned award goes to Afghanistan.
Our third honorable mention award goes to the delegation of Finland. And our last honorable mention award goes to the delegation of Singapore. So as I stated before, we have 2 outstanding awards, but due to the one of the delegations had to leave earlier than the closing ceremony, one of them is not able to be here, so we gave her award before they leave. So we're going to announce only one of the outstanding awards. So
The outstanding award goes to delegation of Saudi Arabia.
We actually, there was an issue with the metrics of the country. So this delegate that I'm going to announce first, was the delegate of Brazil, and right now she is an delegate of an NGO, which is FAO. So the best delegate award goes to the delegation of FAO. The floor is yielded.
Thank you, Gürhan and Zeynep. And now I yield the floor to the chairs of WHO in order to deliver their speeches and present the awards.
Honorary guest Mr. Wolf, Honorable Secretary General Isabella Yazıcı, Deputy Secretary General Azra Kaya, Director General Alara Aykanat, Conference Managers Karaneli Keskiner and Efe Birkan, Advisors Mr. Akdam and Mrs. Dinçer. At the end of 3 days, I am so honored to be here as a President Chair of World Health Organization. This year, I have the same strong excitement like my previous 2 years in EKIN JMUN conference. As always, this year's conference will be unforgettable for me, with so many memories with my best friends. I love you all, guys. And my lovely MUN teachers, Nüket Özen, Müke Bilgili, and Ayşegül Özge. I cannot pay your rights. And my lovely committee, you were the most hardworking delegates I've ever seen. You have done so many sacrifices. I believe you will all be in wonderful places in the future. My hardworking co-chair İrem, I was so lucky to be with you. This year I have a different excitement for this conference. My honorable and lovely Secretary General Isabella. I know how much effort you spent for this conference, and I believe you from the beginning of everything. Everything was wonderful just like you, and I will always be with you with the wonderful moments. I love you so much. And now we will continue with our awards.
Our honorable mention goes to Poland. Our second honorable mention goes to United Kingdom. And our third honorable mention goes to Afghanistan.
Our first outstanding award goes to the delegate of Sudan. Our second outstanding award goes to the delegate of Switzerland. And now, we will continue with the Best Delegate Award. The Best Delegate Award goes to the delegate of Belgium.
Thank you, İrem and Ayda. And now I yield the floor to the chairs of UNICEF in order to deliver their speeches and present the awards.
Honorable Advisors Mr. Agdam and Mrs. Dinçer, Honorary Guest Mr. Wolf, Most Distinguished Secretary General Isabella Yazıcı, Honorable Deputy Secretary General Azra Kaya, Esteemed Director General Alara Aykanat, and dear participants. Firstly, I would like to say that it was my utmost honor to serve as a committee director in EKIN JMUN 2019. In our committee, two very important issues such as the role of children in armed conflict and the protection of children with a special focus on sex tourism and child prostitution were discussed. The delegates managed to write two efficient resolutions and pass them easily, thanks to their productive caucuses. Before we announce our awards, I would like to thank to my committee, my lovely co-chair, whom I basically see as a sister, and for her perfect cooperation. And lastly, my best friend for life, Isabella Yazıcı, our dear Secretary General, all my best friends who served as committee directors, and once again, my committee. And now for the awards, I yield the floor to my co-chair.
Thank you. We have 4 honorable mention awards, 2 outstanding and 1 Best Delegate. First honorable mention goes to India. Second honorable mention award goes to Germany. Third honorable mention goes to United States of America. Fourth honorable mention award goes to Guatemala. Our first outstanding delegate award goes to Liberia. Our second outstanding delegate award goes to Italy. And can we get a drum roll, please? The best delegate award goes to Canada.
Thank you, Selin and Sinecan. And now I yield the floor to the committee directors of DISAC in order to deliver their speeches and present the awards. Oh, well, sorry, sorry. So we now have a short film about how we prepared EKIN JMUN and its journey. Enjoy.
Give me a second, I need to get my story straight. My friends are in the bathroom, getting higher than the Empire State. My lover, she's waiting for me.
And now I yield the floor to the committee directors of DISAC in order to deliver their speeches and present the awards.
Honorable advisors Mr. Agdam and Mrs. Dinçer, honorary guest Mr. Wolf, Secretary General Isabella Yazıcı, Director General Alara Aykanat, Deputy Secretary General Azra Kaya. As the President Chair of the Disarmament and International Security Committee, I would like to state that my delegates are the most hardworking and dedicated delegates that I've ever seen. I can say that from all my heart, it was one of my best chairing experiences. Now I have some gratitude to deliver to some important people. We passed 2 well-written resolutions, so I would like to thank our delegates for being productive. I would like to thank my friends, but I'm sorry it's kind of a long list and I'm scared that I will forget mentioning your names. I would like to thank my co-chair for his priceless efforts, and last but not least, I would like to thank our Secretary General Isabella Yazıcı. Thank you for being me with all the time, and thank you for your lifelong friendship. Thank you for the long drives and plane rides we had. Thank you for being with me when we shaped those unforgettable memories. Now I yield the floor to Bora to deliver the awards.
So our first honorable mention award goes to the delegate of Poland. Our second honorable mention award goes to the delegate of Germany. And our last honorable mention award goes to the delegate of France.
Our first outstanding delegate award goes to the delegate of Egypt. Our second outstanding delegate award goes to the delegate of Denmark. And the best delegate award goes to, may I have a drum roll? Delegate of Afghanistan.
Thank you, Defne and Bora. And now I yield the floor to the committee directors of SPECPOL in order to deliver their speeches and present the awards.
Honorable advisors Mr. Akdam and Mrs. Dinçer, honorary guest Mr. Wolf, Madam Secretary General, Madam Deputy General, distinguished delegates, advisors, and my friends. I would like to keep it short because I can almost smell my delegates curious about the awards. And I would like to start by talking about what we have done in those 3 days. In the first session of the EKIN JMUN 2019, the General Assembly, the 4th Committee, SPECPOL, started their discussion with the topic A, question of ocean privatization. We fought hard, we discussed well, and we come up with our first resolution. Next up, we have another important topic, which is the discrimination against the indigenous people. All of them, all my delegates gave their best, and they managed to finish it in time as well. I had the best committee that I can imagine. They never give up. They did their best to solve it, and for me, that's the best thing a chair could ask for his committee. I thank all my delegates for their tremendous work. And now I'm going to move on with the awards. So we have 4 honorable mentions, 2 outstanding delegates, and 1 best delegate. So the first honorable mention is going to the delegate of Spain. The second one is the delegation of the Senegal. The third one is the delegation of Yemen. And the last honorable mention goes to the delegate of Kazakhstan. Moving on to the outstanding delegates. One of them has to leave the place because of their flight. But our first outstanding delegate is the delegation of Iraq. And the second one was the delegate of Pakistan, but she had to leave. But if you can give an applause for her as well. And the last one, can I get a drum roll, please? So this guy is special for me because I've seen him copying my moves. This is the delegation of Liberia, the best delegate. Now I yield my floor to my Deputy Secretary General.
Thank you, Teoman. And now I yield the floor to the committee directors of UNODC in order to deliver their speeches and present the awards.
Okay. Before starting my speech, I would like to thank the people who made this conference possible, our honorable advisors, Mr. Agdam and Mrs. Dinçer, our honorary guest, Mr. Wolf, our dear Secretary General Isabella, our lovely Deputy Secretary General Azra, our amazing Director General Alara, and it is thanks to them that we were able to have such a great conference. And moving on, I would like to give a brief summary of what we did in the committee. So basically, in the committee sessions, we talked about the threat of narcoterrorism and the drug problem in West and Central Africa. And I would like to say that we came up with 2 great resolutions, and I think that they will be really good in the real world if they were used, because our delegates have so much enthusiasm in them, and they could come up with such great ideas that I was really impressed by them. And I would like to keep the speech short and move on to the awards, so I would like to yield the floor to my co-chair, who is in the live broadcast, to deliver the awards. But I have to say them out loud. So we have 3 honorable mention awards, 2 outstanding delegate awards, and a best delegate award. The first honorable mention award goes to the delegate of Germany. The second honorable mention award goes to the delegate of Spain. The third honorable mention award goes to the delegate of Canada. So now I will be moving on with the outstanding delegate awards. The first outstanding delegate award goes to the delegate of UK. The second outstanding delegate award goes to the delegate of Zambia. So before moving on with the best delegate award, can I have a drum roll, please? The best delegate award goes to the delegate of Singapore. Now I would like to yield the floor to the Deputy Secretary General Azra Kaya.
Thank you, Yarkın. And now I yield the floor to the committee directors of IAEA in order to deliver their speeches and present the awards.
Okay. Honorable advisors, Mr. Agdam and Mrs. Dinçer, honorary guest, Mr. Wolf, distinguished Secretary General Isabella Ece Yazıcı, lovely Deputy Secretary General Azra Kaya, fellow Director General Madam Alara Aykanat, conference managers Karan Ali Keskiner and Efe Birkan. First of all, I would like to state that actually I'm going to make a long speech because I do not want to be a cliche because everyone just summarized their committee, but I just want to talk about how friendship works. First of all, I would like to thank our Secretary General Isabella because she gave me a chance to be with the people I referred as family in here, again in EKIN JMUN. And I would like to thank Mr. Agdam for that too, because he gave me the chance actually, not Isabella. I'm sorry. Excuse me, Isabella, you're not the leader of this conference. And also, I would like to thank to my co-chair, Mehmet Umut Genç. He was the brilliant person, and he had just overcome with the difficulties so good. I know I'm hard to handle, but he did it very well. Now I do not want to bore you, and I would like to continue with the awards. Unfortunately, we do not have a Best Delegate Award since the delegates of our committee are the best. That's why we have 3 Outstanding Delegate Awards and 4 Honorable Mention Awards. And our first Honorable Mention Award goes to Delegate of Egypt. And our second Honorable Mention Award goes to Delegate of Argentina. Our third Honorable Mention Award goes to Delegate of United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. And our last Honorable Mention Award goes to Delegate of Zimbabwe. Moving on with the Outstanding Delegate Awards. Our first Outstanding Delegate Award goes to Delegate of Peru. Our second Outstanding Delegate Award goes to Delegate of Costa Rica. And our last Outstanding Delegate Award goes to Delegate of Senegal. Now I would like to yield my floor to our lovely Deputy Secretary General Azra Kaya.
Thank you, Emircan. And now I yield the floor to the committee directors of United Nations Security Council in order to deliver their speeches and present the awards.
Most Honorable Madam Secretary General Isabella Yazıcı and Madam Deputy Secretary General Azra Kaya, distinguished Madam Director General Alara Aykanat, esteemed advisors and honorary guests Mr. Wolf and conference managers of EKIN JMUN, fellow members of the academic and organization team, fellow delegates, advisors and guests. I would like to start my speech by how pleased I am for the last 3 days thanks to the hard work of academic team and my delegates. In United Nations Security Council, we did a great job and all of my delegates did and tried their best to overcome the issue on the table. I would like to especially thank Mr. Akdam for his kindness and helps, Azra Kaya and Isabella for being with me before and during the conference. I don't want to bore you to death with thanking all of my friends in the academic team, but in order to keep my speech short, I would like to say that I love you all. Determining the awards was quite a bit a challenge of us with my deputy, Ali, and most of the delegates did great, so don't be upset if you didn't get the award you wanted, or if you didn't get any at all. Just know that you were amazing, and if you keep doing MENs, you will be perfect future diplomats. And proceeding with the awards, today we will have 4 mention awards, 2 outstanding delegates, and 1 best delegate award. So I will announce the honorable mentions. Please stand up when you hear your country's name so everyone can see you and give you a round of applause. So the first honorable mention award goes to the delegate of Poland. Our second honorable mention award goes to the delegation of Brazil. Our third honorable mention award goes to the delegation of Kazakhstan. And our last and fourth honorable mention award goes to the delegation of United Kingdom. And my deputy Ali will announce the outstanding awards.
So our first outstanding delegate award goes to the delegate of Germany.
In our committee, a country was represented by 2 delegates, so we only have 1 certificate, but I think our organization team will handle the situation. And our second and last outstanding award goes to the delegation of United States.
And our last best delegate
award goes to the delegation of PRC.
China.
I yield the floor to Madam Deputy Secretary General Azra Kaya.
Thank you, Efe and Aliberk. And lastly, I would like to yield the floor to the committee directors of UNHRC in order to deliver their speeches and present the awards.
Honorable could you please be silent, guys? It's distracting. Thank you. Honorable advisors, Mr. Akdam, dear school founders, our honorary guest Roy Wolf, our Secretary General Isabel Yazıcı, our Deputy Secretary General Azra Kaya, our Director Generals, conference managers. Thank you all for inviting me once more to this conference and making this possible. It was a great honor. Before talking about the committee, I would like to thank a few people, as everyone does, it's customary. I would like to begin with Isabella Yazıcı. Isabella Ece Yazıcı. Isabella, so she's a very smart person, okay? But sometimes she can also be pretty naive and dumb. In this case, she told me last week that she sees me as an idol, and it didn't really make sense to me, you know? Because, no, wait, I'm gonna put it all together. Isabella has the potential and is the best person I have known my entire life. She's smart, she's social, she's capable of being successful in so many things. And I believe in that sense, although she doesn't believe that she will, she will pass me. I love you. Thank you for being my friend, and I'm very lucky to have known you. And thank you for inviting me here. And secondly, my co-chair, Güney, I wasn't ever in a board in which I felt so comfortable with my deputy chair, and he was always very helpful, and I'm pretty sure that he will be one of the greatest chairs of his chair generation, the people born in 2002. So I would like a big round of applause for Güney. Thank you. I would thank all of my friends here, but there are a lot of them, so I don't feel the need to thank them, but they know I love them very much. About our committee and delegates, we worked a lot, very hardly, all of us, honestly. And our delegates at first were very reluctant to speak, and they had troubles putting the courage together to come to the floor and take the floor and make speeches. But I believe at the very end of the conference, I didn't have a single delegate who didn't deliver a speech throughout the conference. And for that, I'm very proud. Because, guys, can you please be more silent? I'm finishing in a second. I know you're bored. I believe that being here as a chair and organizing this conference, everybody's feeling the same thing as I do. It's very important to make sure young minds explore these things, these extracurriculars. Mall United Nations is a very great example of that. And I am very proud of myself and my delegates for being involved in this conference and putting the best effort they could have put forth. And we passed very good 2 resolutions. The first of them was easier to pass. The second one, we had little difficulties, but it turned out pretty great, didn't it, UNHRC delegates? Yeah. Thank you. So right now, we will be announcing the awards. Thanks for listening. We have 4 honorable mention awards and 3 outstanding delegate awards, especially, unfortunately, no best delegate awards because all of our delegates were the best. So our honorable mention awards. The first one goes to the delegate of Bulgaria. Please stand up so everyone can see you. And the second one goes to the delegate of Afghanistan, who is filming me right now over there.
The third honorable mention award goes to the delegate of South Africa. The fourth and the last honorable mention award goes to the delegate of United States of America.
Our first outstanding delegate award. This delegate did not use the word we, which is the word you're supposed to use in an MEN conference, throughout the entire conference, delegate of Venezuela.
Our second outstanding delegate award goes to the delegation of Germany.
And our last outstanding delegate awards goes to the delegate of Liberia.
And now I yield the floor to our Honorable Conference Manager, Karan Keskiner, to deliver his speech.
School Principal, Mr. Güneş, esteemed advisors, Mr. Agdam and Mrs. Dinçer, our honorable guest, Mr. Troy Wolf, Honorable Secretary General, Madam Isabella Yazıcı, Honorable Deputy Secretary General, Azra Kaya, most beloved Director General, Alara Aykanat. I know you guys are waiting to get to your flights or your trains or your buses, so I'm not going to take much of your time. I just have to thank one person, and then I'm going to give you one piece of advice, and then we're going to be done. Mr. Troy Wolf, 7 years ago, I started my MUN career in a conference that your team have organized. And it is responsible for the person who I am today. Now, whether that's a positive or negative, I can't say, but I'm extremely thankful for everything that your team has done all around the world. And we are so thankful that we try and do that same thing in this city, and we believe that we're doing pretty well. So now I have to give all of you one piece of advice. And that piece of advice is for you to strive for difficulty. Failing in MUN conferences is okay. Failing to make a speech or understanding the rules of procedure, that is something that is supposed to happen. We always keep doing this because we always long for failure. Because without failure, there is no chance that we can learn and improve. And that is why I still myself do MUN, so I can constantly fail and improve. But this conference is an exception because every single year we have the most awesome junior MUN conference the world has ever seen. So thank you all. I yield the floor to Azra Kaya so Isabella can make her speech.
And now I yield the floor to my lovely friend, our Honorable Secretary General, Isabella Yazıcı, in order to deliver her speech and adjourn the conference.
Thank you, everyone. So I'm going to make a very, very short speech as well, but I just have a couple of words that I would like to deliver today. First of all, honorable advisors, Mr. Agdam and Mrs. Dinçer, honorable school headmaster, honorary guest, Mr. Troy Wolf, honorable conference manager, Canlı Keskiner, my dearest Deputy Secretary General Azra Kaya, and our dearest Director General Alara Aykanat. MUN has always been an amazing part of my life that has helped me grow as a person and helped me develop into who I am today. And honestly, I did not write a speech while coming up here because I had no time today, but I just want to give a few thanks to the people that I love. As many of you who have already delivered a speech up here, I will not count all of your names because you guys are just too crowded for me. But I just want to address Defna Sallı because you are amazing and you underestimate yourself as well, and I just want you to know that, and you are still my idol. I would like to thank Mr. Troy Wolf for coming all this way and helping us with everything we need and giving us advice on whichever area we asked him. So thank you for sharing all of your stories. I also want to thank Azra Kaya and Karahan for helping me with whatever I needed even before the conference began, because you guys were always there for me and helped me get through all the stress with ease. So it is sad for me to come to an end of one of the greatest journeys of my life so far. And I would like to invite our conference manager up on the stage to adjourn the meeting, if he's still here. Is Kanahan here to adjourn the meeting? Can you come? EKIN JMUN 2019 has officially been adjourned.
Uh, everyone, well, you remember that we just required you for a favor to go back to the main building for a photograph. I think that we have to skip it because most of the schools have already left. Thank you very much for being here with us again. Have a wonderful Sunday evening.